Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Unfiltered Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about keeping that same energy yet again. So, every Thursday that we get on here, just know keep that same energy, keep that same mindset, right? Keep that same vibe because guess what? Here on Unfiltered Sports, we bring the heat, we bring the energy, we bring the vibe, no bias, no PR answers, none of that stuff that you hear on the TV because guess what? We don't report to nobody. We report to ourselves and we bring the truth and we bring unbiased opinions here on Unfiltered Sports. So, again, thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered Sports, where we will keep that same energy, right? So, if you were loud in the past, continue to be loud today. If you go for a team and you cheer for a team, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, you name it, and they are not the best team, and you cheering for them, keep cheering for them when they doing good. Get your props. Be loud and proud. If you're a Jets fan, you're rooting for the Jets. You had, some of the worst seasons of your life. You've been through the butt fumble, whatever it may be. Then you turn around and you root for them when they do good or do something good at least. Because I mean, they won what 3 games this year, if that. What about if you were a Detroit Lions fan, right? And they went 3 seasons in a row, 0-16, and now look at them. They're contenders. They're doing something right. So keep that same energy, keep that same mindset because it will pay off, right? It's now basketball season's back intact. All-Star weekend is done and over with. It had its ups and downs, but a lot of players that I've heard in interviews so far have said they need to go back to the East versus West competition. And I 100% agree. They need to go back to the East versus West competition. Let's see who's the better, East or the West. Are you going to have players from Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Miami that are going to compete on this all-star team? And will they outshine the team on the West Coast where you got people like Golden State, teams like the Lakers, whoever is on the West Coast, Sacramento Kings. Haven't heard that name in a long time either. But you know, will they be able to outshine the Eastern All Stars? Right, so there's a lot that goes into this. Right. Fun fact for everybody that did not know: when the NBA bought out the ABA back in 1976, guess what? The ABA bought the 3-point line over to the NBA, and the ABA brought over the dunk contest as well. So just know that if you don't follow the American Basketball Association and what they're doing today, it's about time you follow it. Why? Because we got dogs basketball in the building, and the dog basketball team is a part of the American Basketball Association. And I tell you what, they're playing good basketball because they're going to be back in action this Saturday night at 6 o'clock in Burlington, New Jersey, where they're going to face off with against the Burlington Thoroughbreds to hopefully move their record up and secure that second, even the first round seed in the playoffs. Meaning that if they win this weekend, they will become 10-3, which would then tie us for that first seed in the division. So again, huge shout out to the Dogs basketball. I'm extremely proud for them. I see that we had a question from Braylon in the chat. So go ahead, Braylon, answer or ask your question, and I will try to have an answer for you as best as possible. So while I wait for your question, Braylon, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep pushing forward, and then I will jump back to your question once I see it in the chat there. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Unfiltered Sports. Please, if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe because it's going to be an amazing show that you don't want to miss going forward. Mark my words here, right? So I want to start this one out with a kind of debate. A debate. I've seen this one here right? This debate is if you had game 7, NBA Finals, 1 point left in 1 point in the game that you're down. So you're down 1 point, game 7 in the NBA Finals with 3 seconds left on the clock. You got out of these 5 players, who are you picking? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant, or Steph Curry? You got Michael Jordan, who's 6-0 in closing in the NBA Finals. You got Kobe Bryant, who makes some of the hardest shots in NBA history. You got Larry Bird, who's the guy who tells you he's going to score on you, and then he actually goes and scores on you. Then you have Kevin Durant, who's close to 7 foot tall, who can shoot over anybody. And then you got Steph Curry, who's arguably the greatest shooter of all time. So let's hear your take on this. Let's hear your take on this. Because when I first saw this here, my take was automatically Jordan or Kobe. Now looking at it is actually a tough question. Why is it a tough question, you may ask? I say that it's a tough question because you got Larry Bird, who's arguably a good shooter as well. Like you said, Steph Curry, arguably one of the greatest shooters in the game. You got, again, Kobe Bryant, who, again, can shoot some of the hardest shots in the game and make them. And then you have Jordan, who's just the greatest of all time, right? We talked about this here on Unfiltered Sports before, where you have Jordan as the greatest of all time, and right under him is Kobe Bryant, who learned from Jordan, and then right under that, it's not even LeBron James at that, because it's in the LeBron era, which we're in the LeBron era. Steph Curry is arguably the most favorable person in this era over LeBron James. Everybody's coming out. Oh, I want to be like Steph. I'm gonna shoot the ball like Steph. I'm gonna do everything like Steph. You got some people here and there that says, "Oh, I'm gonna be like LeBron. I like LeBron. LeBron this, LeBron that." But we're not looking at the overall bigger picture of LeBron James, because when you look at LeBron James, you can see that his defense sucks. He passes the ball when he should be taking the final shot. If you are the all-star, the captain of that team, you need to take control and facilitate that floor. And if you don't want to facilitate that floor, then you need to get off the floor and put somebody else in the game that's going to do the same thing. You see that he likes to um, cry and complain when he don't get the ball, but when he gets the ball, what does he do with the ball? He fumbles it. He turns the ball over. He complains. He cries. He flops on the ground. So when we talk about arguably some of the best players out here, in this picture here alone, we said Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. My question is, why LeBron ain't up there? Why is LeBron James not up here in this picture? Why? LeBron is past his time. But also, hey, I appreciate the love down there, guys. Keep checking it out. Larry Bird, like you said, Larry Bird is arguably one of the best shooters in the game, and so is Steph Curry. And that's why this is challenging. Excuse me. I honestly think if we look at Kevin Durant, if we talk about Kevin Durant on OKC or Kevin Durant on the Warriors, possibly, but he would be like my last choice right there. Then right above that, I would have to put Larry Bird, and then right above that, I would probably put Steph Curry, and then Kobe, and then Jordan. So that's kind of just my take on this, how I see this going. But again, you got 6 of some of the best players in the game, or 5 of some of the best players in the game that's here. LeBron James could have been a part of this picture, but what happened? He had to leave his team to go to another team to win a championship. Kind of like the same thing that Kevin Durant did. And I kind of don't like that. If you think you arguably are one of the best players or the best player in the game, why do you have to go leave your team to join another team to win a championship game? If you are a decent player, you don't need to leave your team, because guess what? Larry Bird didn't have to leave his team. Michael Jordan didn't have to leave his team. Kobe Bryant didn't have to leave his team. And Steph Curry didn't have to leave his team. So why are we putting them on the same level as a person who thinks he's arguably the greatest player of all time, who had to leave his team to go down to play and combine the super team to win a finals? Tricky. I think not. I think we know the answer because he couldn't do it by himself. He could not do it by himself. Who did Steph Curry truly have at that time? Yes, he had Klay Thompson. Yes, he had Draymond Green. But at the time, were all three of those players actually known as a all-star player? No, not at the time. They were not when they first won their first NBA championship. After that, there's like, already, they're decent players. They're, considered all-stars. But guess what happened? They added Kevin Durant to that roster. And then they went back and won a championship again, right? But think about this, right? Is that they did not need Kevin Durant in order to win a championship. And I think that year that they won the championship, Kevin Durant should have not won the NBA Finals MVP. Steph Curry should have won that Finals MVP, or Andre Iguodala deserved it as well. So just think about that at the same time, right? So just know that you don't always have to be the best player on the team, but you can be the most hardworking player that's on a team that's going to outwork everyone else. Cleveland, when LeBron played for them, was not great. Let's get that straight, because at the time, LeBron tried to get them to the NBA Finals and win a finals with them, and he could not accomplish that goal. The reason LeBron left was because he was tired of trying to carry the team by himself to get there. At that time, who was on the roster of Cleveland with LeBron James? You had what? Delonte West, who was sleeping with his mom. You had Ilgauskas, who wasn't even that good of a center to begin with. Like, what are we talking about here? Cleveland was not that good. And when LeBron left, they became worse than what they actually were. And then you look at Miami Heat. Miami Heat did not need LeBron James, nor did they need Chris Bosh, because Dwayne Wade had won an NBA Finals without both of them. So what are we talking about here? We're just talking without thinking. That's what's happening right now. Blah, 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 blah. And if I had a sound machine, you would hear that your take was biased. It was trash. We want to unfilter that take right there. Get them out of here. That's what we talking about right now. I'm telling you here on Unfiltered Sports, let's make your takes make sense, right? Because I don't mind that we bring our takes into the chat, right? But let's just be real. We're being biased here about LeBron James being the greatest of all time and that he did this and he did that. No, LeBron James is not the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan is arguably the better player because he won 6, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 NBA Finals with who? None other than the Chicago Bulls. So, what are we talking about here? And the only reason LeBron got as many points as he do is because his team was that trash that he was the only person that could score on the team. But if he continued to play on a team like Miami, where D Wade needed to score points, where Chris Bosh needed to score, a healthy Chris Bosh needed to score points as well, Udonis Haslem, who needed to score points as well, LeBron would not have the same amount of points that he has today to begin with. It is crazy. It is crazy to think this. But let's talk about something different. Let's talk about a hot streak here, right? How about the New York Knicks? I'm going to just talk about the Villanova Knicks real fast because I'm just excited to see the progress that they're making. The fact of the nature is of this game is that New York was not performing at all, but now they got and arguably one of the better rosters in the Eastern Conference. I said this probably yesterday. Actually, I was talking to someone about this, and if the Eastern Conference playoffs came down to it, I think that it would be Boston versus New York in a playoff game matchup. And then New York will beat Boston again and take them out. And then it will be Philadelphia versus whoever, Detroit possibly. And then we would see, hopefully, Philadelphia beat Detroit to move on to that Eastern Conference final game. And then in that Eastern Conference finals, it will be the New York Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. And I would love to see the Philadelphia 76ers get their revenge on the New York Knicks to advance them to the finals to play against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But again, that's just my take on that right there. I'm a Sixers fan till I die, so I know that I want them to win, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not gonna hold my breath if they lose in the playoffs. At least they made it though, right? Unlike some people. So we'll see what happens here. But New York has been on a somewhat of a decent win streak this season. They're playing really good basketball, and I think that they are a true contender in the Eastern Conference. Boston is another team that's not really being talked about a lot right now, but I think that um, with a healthy Jason Tatum, a healthy Brown, um, healthy Derek White, a healthy team in general, right? The Celtics could also make a run for the Eastern Conference Final to go to the finals, right? Detroit, I just think Detroit is riding this hype wave that Detroit is just not going to live up to the hype that they should be living up to. They're going to lose a couple games. It's going to drop them from that number 1 seed probably to the 3 seed, and then they're going to have to face that number 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. As of right now, that 6 seed is who? The Philadelphia 76ers. So let's get this straight. I think the Sixers are going to move up to a 5 seed or even a 4 seed, and then they're going to have to play that 5th or 4th seed, depending on who that is, if they actually move up in the rankings here, right? But right now, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe is on point. On point. They both played in the All-Stars game together, right? Not only did they play in the All-Star game together, but they just have this. Just think about when you meet somebody and you connect with them right away, and how you just vibe with them and your energy's high and everything's going right, and you meet that person and you become best friends. That is what that vibe and that energy is like. What you got Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe on the court together. The backcourt for the 76ers is crazy. And welcome back Cameron Payne, because Cameron Payne is going to be a huge asset to the bench of the 76ers. And I'm hoping that he's going to help lift the Sixers up to even that. So when we talk about the Western Conference here, like I said, we got the Western Conference. You got Golden State over there. You got OKC over there. You got the Lakers over there. You got the Clippers over there. The Rockets over there, the Jazz over there. But see, like, you barely hear about the Jazz anymore. You barely hear about the Kings anymore. You barely hear about the Rockets anymore. The Clippers, you only hear about the Clippers because they just got rid of Chris Paul, and he retired because he didn't want to play in Toronto. So look at that. They ain't even giving this man a proper goodbye. Like, it was his final year in the NBA. He was retiring. But that's crazy to even think about that. I also saw the video of the Dallas Mavericks, and I think that was a good video to see how, PJ Washington dishes the ball to Clay Thompson, and then Clay gives it back to PJ, and PJ just throws it down with 2 hands. Then he lands. As he lands, they're throwing the ball in. He steals the ball. They double team him. He kicks it out to Clay Thompson, and what happens? Clay Thompson for the 3. Boom! It was timeout called. Now, tell me in a sequence, you just scored 5 points in a matter of 30 seconds. I'm telling you here that the Mavericks are a team that every team will start to fear right about now. They are doing something behind closed doors that are going to put them as a powerhouse team come the next 2 or 3 years. I guarantee you that's going to happen, right? They're winning games, they're playing good basketball, they're playing team basketball, and they're having fun doing it at the same time. We talked about Joel Embiid the other day, and like I said, Joel Embiid is a decent elite basketball player. When Joel Embiid is healthy, Joel Embiid will dominate the powerhouse. Meaning, he will attack the basket, he will dunk on you, he will shoot the three pointer, he will do whatever it takes to control this game. And when he's healthy and playing elite basketball, guess what? Teams will double team and triple team him and leave someone else open. And I pray and hope that he stays healthy, because when it comes playoff time, a healthy Joel Embiid, healthy VJ Edgecombe, healthy Tyrese Maxey, they'll have Paul George back for the playoffs as well. It is going to be crazy for the Philadelphia 76ers. And you sleep on them now and watch what's going to happen. You're going to get swept right out the playoffs. I'm saying this now right here. This is my take. Golden State will not make it past round 2 of the playoffs if they make it in. That is my take on that as well. Golden State is not performing the way they need to be. They thought getting Jimmy Butler will be nice. He got hurt. Sucks to say that, but it is what it is. But Jimmy Butler, he tore his Achilles or his ACL, something like that, but he's out. But they still need to keep that same energy. They need to keep that same vibe, that same mindset. And what's happening is that I think that Steve Kerr is on his way out the door. That's my take on Golden State right now. I think that he's getting done with basketball. It's time for him to hang up his coaching career. He had a great basketball career in Chicago alongside who? Scottie Pippen and the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. You heard it here first. He had a great career playing basketball alongside those two there. But guess what? He turned it around and he went coaching, and he coached Golden State to how many championships? Okay. So yes, it is time for him to hang it up and call it a career as a general. Go enjoy your retirement, Steve Kerr. Spend some time with your family because they miss you and they need their time back with you. My other take is that I think that we need to start looking at who deserves the MVP of the NBA. Who deserves the MVP of the NBA? Is it Ant-Man? Yes, he won the Mamba All-Star Game award, but do he deserve it over the entire NBA? Is it Wemby? Who is it? Who's your take on who should win the MVP of the NBA this season? On top of that, who should be Rookie of the Year? I'm gonna give my opinion because I really don't hear much about other rookies right about now on the spotlight. VJ Edgecombe. I think VJ Edgecombe deserves to win Rookie of the Year. If he wins Rookie of the Year, my hot take on him is that they're going to compare him just like they're already comparing Tyrese Maxey to none other than who? Allen Iverson. Because we talk about practice. Practice? I'm gonna make my team better by practice. We talking practice here. Like, come on now. Practice? Ha, practice. That's okay. You think Steph Curry gonna do everything, but guess what? Steph Curry on his way out the door. Then what's gonna happen? Who gonna be? Let's ask this question: who gonna be your favorite team when Steph Curry is out the door? When Steve Kerr is out the door? When Draymond Green thinks he's gonna be the commissioner of the NBA? Who do you think is gonna be your favorite team? Because I know it's not gonna be Golden State. Because guess what? You're a bandwagon. Just saying, we don't like that here. So we need to like get an owners meeting going, reconvene with everybody, and you need to remap everything and figure out who you want to root for. because your geographics is all messed up. And I'm going to keep saying that every time you want to talk trash. We're going to figure that one out for sure. If you look at player development, who do you think should be the most improved player of the year? Who is considered arguably right now the most improved player of the year? That's what I want to know. In my opinion, if we talking about most improved player, it's a great one. I don't know. I just don't know. But let me pull up the polls here because this is important. And we're going to go literally award by award and we're going to talk about this because this is where it needs to be added into the system here because everybody's take on who should be what is important. But for the, like I said, the All-Star MVP was Anthony Edwards. The All-Cup tournament team went to Karl Anthony Towns. NBA Cup MVP was Jalen Brunson, and the All Tournament team was Luka, Jalen Brunson, De'Aaron Fox, and SGA. Honestly, speaking, I think that SGA could be a top contender for the NBA MVP, even the most improved player. But let's hear your takes on that. First, we're going to start with MVP. I'm gonna list some names here. I'm gonna get like the top 5. No, that's wrong. The Kia MVP ladder. Let's see where we're at with this. Oh, so Luka is moving up, and Jokic took a crazy hit to his rankings here, I believe it was. So let's see who is number 1 for the Kia MVP of the season so far. No other than SGA. SGA for Oklahoma City Thunder is at number 1 because he's pulling in right now 32 points a game, 4.4 rebounds, and 6.2 assists. That is crazy work. And mark my words, if you get a team like Detroit that's going to go to the NBA Finals and they're not prepared, OKC is going to sweep them out. Sweep them out. 100%. That's what's going to happen if you keep messing around. Number 2 is Luka. Luka's having a fantastic season. He was at number 3 last week. This week he moved into number 2. He's averaging 33.6 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, and 7.7 assists. He's doing work over there in LA for the Lakers since LeBron can't do nothing because he's trash. The Joker, he was at number 2 and he moved down because he's only averaging 29.6 points a game, 12.2 rebounds a game, and 11 assists a game. He could be doing better, but he could be doing a lot worse. Then at number 4, you got Victor Wemby for the Spurs, and he's averaging 24.3 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks a game. So he has a great case for him. Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics deserves to be up here. Not because of what he did for Team USA, but because he's playing really good basketball right now. Right? He was at number 6 last week. He moved up to number 5, but he's averaging 29.4 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 4.9 assists. And then you got Cade Cunningham for Detroit Pistons, Donovan Mitchell, followed by Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Edwards, and Jamal Murray. Now, Tyrese Maxey is sitting at number 8 right now. He was at number 7. So let's give him, he might have been at number 6 as well. But guess what? He's still in the top 10 of one of the best players in the NBA today. And guess what? Mark my words, if he stays on fire, he stays healthy and stay consistent, they're going to win an NBA Finals sooner rather than later. Yes, he did but I guarantee you he's going to turn it around come the second half of this season, which I believe they play tomorrow. So we'll see what happens when they play after the All-Star break here. Right? So let's see what else we can figure out here, right? Because guess what? It's more to it than just the MVP award. I mean, you got the rookie of the year. Let's see who going to rookie of the year. Who's number one on the rookie of the year ladder right now? So at number one for the rookie of the year is Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag down in Dallas is playing some good basketball right now. He is at 20.3 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. He was the number one draft pick in the NBA. And number two, you got Con Knuppel from the Charlotte Hornets at 18.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. He's sitting at number two right there. You got at number three, who? DJ Edgecombe from the Philadelphia 76ers. That's right. You heard it here first. He's averaging 14.9 points a game, 5.4 rebounds a game, and 4.2 assists per game. He's sitting at the number three. And if he continues to catch fire after the All-Star break, he's going to do damage and he's going to grow in that ladder. Even like going side by side with Cooper Flag here for that number one. After that, you got Derek Queen, 12.2 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 4.2 assists, followed by Maxime Ray from the Sacramento Kings at 9.9 points, 6.7, and 1 point assist. And then followed from there, you got Cedric Cowart, and then you got Edgar Demon, however you say his name. You got Dylan Harper from the San Antonio Spurs, Ace Bailey from the Utah Jazz, and Caleb Love from the Portland Trail Blazers. I think the first three are arguably should be tied for number one, honestly, because they're all playing some really good basketball right now. Now, in my opinion, offense is key as well. So let's see who's going to be the offensive player of the year. Not offensive rookie, but offensive player, because that's going to be good to know as well. But let's see where our ladder is today. Forgot about the Sixth Man of the Year award too. That's going to be a good one to even see. But I appreciate everybody for still being in the chat here, for tuning in. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe to Dogs Basketball. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter over here on the OG Network. If you haven't already, please go check out Mental Raccoon Glass and like and subscribe to his page as well. OG Network is in the building. We are going strong. We are shining here on Unfiltered Sports, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So again, let's go. Like it up. Like, come on, like we're doing good over here. We are doing good here. But while that's loading up, let's not overreact here. Let's think about some of the narratives of the game. Let's put a narrative together here on Unfiltered Sports that's going to play out, that's going to work. That could be, I gave a narrative already earlier where I think that the Knicks and the Sixers will face off in the Eastern Conference Final versus each other. That is my narrative right there. I think the Sixers get their lick back and the Sixers go all the way and they win. But my narrative for the Western Conference is OKC. They're going to go back to the NBA Finals, and they're going to look to go for a back-to-back NBA Finals championship here. trying to be like Golden State did back in like 2015 time frame, 2017, 18, whatever it was. They won one. I think they lost to LeBron and them in Miami. Then they won like the next two or something like that with some weird stuff. But I think that that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But if it plays out like I'm saying right now, where it's OKC versus Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA Finals, I think because Philadelphia is known for being the legend killers, the Eagles beat no other than who? Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. They beat no other than who? Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So I think that the Sixers could go back to the NBA Finals and they could beat SGA as the underdogs. I personally would love to see the Lakers go back to the NBA Finals and watch the Sixers go to the NBA Finals as well and let the Sixers get their lick back. Because one thing that I'm tired of seeing is that the 2001 76ers is getting credit and recognized during games when they didn't even win. Yeah, they went to the NBA Finals. They lost, though. But let's start putting other teams on the map. Like this team right now in the 2025 2026 Philadelphia 76ers needs to be on the map here. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. The narratives will change. Fans will start being more bandwagoners once teams start winning championships and start winning games. You know, we've seen it here once already, but, you know, I hate to say it, but it's going to continue to happen. It is going to continue to happen. So why switch it up? Why not keep that same energy? Keep that same vibe? Why not stick with your team that you said that you would live, bleed, and die for when they losing? It's crazy. It is very crazy. But in my opinion, right now, we're going to go back here. Let's do 6-man first. Let's see who's the ladder for 6-man. Where did it go? So the favorite to win 6-man of the year is Jamie Jaquez Jr. from Miami Heat. The contenders outside of that is going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker from Atlanta Hawks, Anthony Black from Orlando Magic, Naz Reid from the Timberwolves, and then you got Reed Shepherd from the Houston Rockets, right? Then from there, you're going to look at the most improved player. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but the favorite is Denny, and I don't even know how to pronounce that last name, but we're going to look at Denny from Portland Trailblazers. Then you got Keontae George, followed by Jalen Johnson, who Jalen Johnson and Atlanta Hawks will be playing in the playoffs if the playoffs were to start today. And then you got Jalen Duren from Detroit Pistons, followed by Ryan Rollins. And then you go to Defensive Player of the Year. Now, the favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year, arguably, if you like LeBron, should have been LeBron, right? Well, it's not. It's not LeBron. It is Chet Holmgren, or however you say his last name. I already said that I like the matchup of the Sixers versus the Lakers or OKC versus the Sixers. I like the Eastern Conference Final to be the Sixers versus the Knicks. On the Western Conference side, I mean, I would like to see in that Western Conference Final OKC versus the Lakers. That would be, you know, an underdog tale story, but I would like to see Luka kind of win something for once as well. But we'll see. Contenders for Defensive Player of the Year will be Bam Adebayo from Miami Heat, Wemby from the San Antonio Spurs. Then we're looking at the Coach of the Year. That gets overlooked a lot, right? Your coaches. So we're talking about Coach of the Year is the head coach for the Detroit Pistons. So far, he's number one favorite person right now. Right under that, you got Mitch Johnson from the San Antonio Spurs, followed by Mark I don't even know how to say his last name, the head coach of OKC, followed by the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. And then you got Eric Spoelstra from Miami Heat. Now, you haven't heard Eric Spoelstra name in a long time, but I like to give credit to Eric Spoelstra because Eric Spoelstra, when he first joined the NBA, nobody really knew what he did. And I'm here to tell you that he was the video coordinator for the Miami Heat. And then he worked his way up the chain. And now look at him, the head coach for the Miami Heat, and he got 3 rings out of it. So good for him. I'm really happy to see him stick it through and kind of go from there and make it happen. So, we're looking at the NBA, all NBA first team here, right? We're going to keep the same energy because we're talking about players that's supposed to be good. We talked about LeBron James, Steph Curry, two arguably, somebody in the chat is a LeBron fan, obviously, and a Steph Curry fan, but that those players' names are not even a part of the All NBA first team. You got Jalen Brunson from the New York Knicks, who I've been talking about here on Unfiltered Sports for about 3 weeks now. Jalen Brunson. You got Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics, Cade Cunningham from Detroit Pistons, Luka Doncic from Los Angeles Lakers, and SGA from OKC. A great lineup right there. Just saying. That is a decent, solid lineup right there, by the way, of just 5 people. Even though they all play, the same position almost, but it is what it is. All second team here. We're even looking at the all second team. It's funny because you can't qualify for any awards if you don't play a certain amount of games. And guess what happened? LeBron sat most of those games, so he don't qualify for no awards. Good for him. He need to retire by now. But you got all second team for the NBA is Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, and no other than Karl Anthony Towns. Good for them. That's a second, all second team. It's a decent pick. All third team so far. All right, you got Scotty Barnes from Toronto, Steph Curry from Golden State. You got Jalen Johnson from the Hawks. You got Tyrese Maxey from the 76ers. And then you got Alperen from the Houston Rockets. That's how you say his name. But solid so far. Solid. So just know that, anything can happen. This can change at any point in time. But where is LeBron at in all of this? But he's the greatest of all time. Steph Curry's name was only mentioned once, and that was because it was like an all second team, all third team, whatever. Good for him. I respect Steph Curry and I appreciate his game, but it's time for all good things to come to an end. Just saying. We got to prepare for the next generation of NBA basketball. And that starts with the hype and the energy of Tyrese Maxey, the hype and the energy of VJ Edgecombe. You got to start with players like Cooper Flagg. You got to start with players that like Cade Cunningham, who are going to bring more energy and more volume to the NBA. I would have loved to see Dallas win the NBA Finals with Luka, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis all together. But we missed that opportunity. That is for sure. So, yeah, I really, really appreciate, everybody that stuck in the chat for this long. It was a really, really great show today. And just know we would love to have anybody that can show their face on camera here on Unfiltered Sports. We really love to talk trash. I would really love to debate with somebody live on Unfiltered Sports. But we already challenged one fan to come over here on the show to debate with us live. And guess what? That fan was not having it. He was too quiet to come on the show. Huge shout out to Out the Pit from the OG Network as well. Go like and subscribe to his channel as well, please. And if you haven't, go check out Sackcloth Queen as well. Like and subscribe to her channel as well. Make sure you go check out Top to Bottom Hair skincare products, because guess what? It is some decent products. It's all natural, and you actually know what you're going to be putting in your body as well at the same time. So we really appreciate everybody that's a part of this OG network, because at the same time, guess what? We support them, they support us. We are all one big family, right? If you haven't already, if we had to look at the winner of the Kia MVP, that person is going to be the face of the next NBA 2K. And if it's SGA, guess what? He's going to be the face of 2K. And I pray and hope that he don't catch no 2K curse, because a lot of people, like, the Madden curse is real. Saquon Barkley was on Madden cover last year, and guess what? This year he didn't do it so hot. So guess what? I hope that NBA curse don't go into effect for that MVP winner that get put on the face of that cover. So again, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to Unfiltered Sports here on Unfiltered Sports, where we have no filter. We bring all the heat. We don't bring the bias or no PR, because guess what? We don't report to nobody. So I don't care how your feelings feel. If your feelings get hurt, so what? Cry me a river. Get out of here. But if you want to come live here on Unfiltered Sports and debate with me live, please do so. Please reach out to Dogs Basketball. Please reach out to OG and figure out how you can get on this show, because guess what? I would love to have you on this show. I don't care about your feelings on the show, because when it comes to sports, it's all about passion. It's not about biasness. It's all about the passion, and it's all about the truth. And if your player that you root for sucks, so be it. They suck. If your team sucks, so be it. They suck. I don't care. But here on Unfiltered Sports, we bring the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you, Jesus. And with that being said, I really appreciate you guys all. Thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered Sports today. I look forward to hearing from you guys tomorrow on Unfiltered Sports at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So with that being said, you have a good night. You stay unfiltered. You stay blessed.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.